Brandy was in tonight. Yes.
Bill went to retire from there.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome to Ozark City Hall. We're glad you're here for the Board of Aldermen meeting and engaging with your elected officials. Listening to perspectives of city residents, business owners, and other community members helps our elected leaders make more informed decisions. Before the meeting begins, let's review our rules of order. These ensure the meeting is orderly and efficient while allowing everyone who would like to speak an opportunity to do so. There are two opportunities for you to speak: during the agenda's scheduled visitor and guest portion of the meeting and during public discussion of new bills and resolutions. During the agenda's scheduled visitor and guest portion, anyone who signed up at the city clerk's office before 5 p.m. the Wednesday before the meeting can speak to aldermen about the topic they specified. Now, in the public discussion of new bills and resolutions, that allows you to give comments for aldermen to consider before they make a decision. Anytime anyone is speaking, the following rules apply. First, only one person should speak at a time. Please be respectful of the person speaking and hold your comments until it's your turn. Second, anyone speaking must do so from the podium and speak into the microphone. Third, you must first provide your name and address in writing to the city clerk before beginning your comments. These forms are provided near the entrance. You also must state your name and address to the Board of Aldermen using the podium microphone. Fourth, all comments should be addressed to the mayor and aldermen. Finally, all speakers have 5 minutes. A digital timer will show you the countdown. The light will change from green to flashing yellow when 2 minutes are left. It will stay yellow at the 1 minute mark. Your comment time is up when the light turns red. The mayor or alderman may have additional questions for speakers after this time limit. Occasionally, the board will invite someone to make a presentation at the meeting. This is only to give information to the board about a specific topic. These presenters will have no time limit on giving their information. This meeting will be live streamed and recorded with video and audio unless there are technical difficulties. The use of cell phones or other devices is discouraged during the meeting. Please silence your phones right now. Again, thank you for being here and engaging with the City of Ozark. The meeting will begin shortly.
Okay, we'll begin now with approval of our minutes from the previous meetings. We have first November the 18th, 2024, our regular meeting. Any
Point of order.
Oh, yes.
Roll call.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you.
Alderman Aiken,
Here.
Alderman Campbell,
Aye. Here.
Alderman Galloway,
Here.
Alderman Hutchinson,
Here.
Alderman Metcalf,
Here.
Alderman Snyder.
Here.
We have 6 aldermen present. We have a quorum.
Thank you very much. And thank you, Alderman Campbell. We had did it earlier, but anyway, this time we will now look at the minutes from the previous meetings. First one's from November the 18th, 2024, our regular meetings. Any questions or comments regarding these minutes? I'm not seeing any movement, so therefore, is there a motion that we approve November 18th minutes?
I make a motion that we approve November 18th regular minutes.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. The motion is that we approve November 18th, 2024 regular meeting minutes made by Alderman Metcalf and seconded by Alderman Campbell. All in favor of voting on the motion to approve November 18th, 24 regular meeting minutes, do so by show of hands, please. And that does carry. Now we'll move to November 21st, to our breakfast session meeting. Any questions regarding these minutes as printed? I'm not seeing comments. Is there a motion that we approve as printed?
I make a motion, we approve November 21st non-legislative meeting minutes.
Is there a second? Okay. The motion is that we approve as printed the November 21st, 2024, the breakfast session meeting. The motion was made by Alderman Metcalf, second Alderman Aiken. All in favor of voting to discuss, to approve the November 21st, 24 minutes, do so by show of hands. And that does carry. Okay. There are no ceremonial matters at this time. We do have a scheduled guest tonight. It was to be Megan Crimson, but unfortunately she's ill. But then Gary Wilson, who is a board member from the same agency, will be speaking on her behalf. So you're welcome to the platform, sir.
Mr. Mayor, Board of Aldermen, I'm Gary Wilson. I am here representing the Greater Springfield Apartment Housing Association. A little bit about us. We represent over 20,000 apartment units in this part of Missouri. We also are part of the Missouri Apartment Association. I'm a past president of Springfield. I'm also a past president of the state, and I'm a current board member there. We represent about 150,000 apartment units around the state. And then as part of the National Apartment Association, I'm a past board member. We represent 13 million apartment units around the United States. So we are very heavily invested in this industry. And so we have a lot of background and a lot of knowledge. And I only say all that to say, we would love to be a part of helping as you guys look at rental registration and rental funds in a way that you're going to try to implement some of these things into place. We're currently working with Springfield. We've been working with them for well over a year, and they still haven't put a plan in action yet because this is not a fast process. I understand that it's going to come up in December for a pretty quick vote. And so we would just love to be able to have a seat at the table to give any input, any help. We also recommend that you bring in tenants groups. Most people don't think that we get along with tenants groups, but we do. And the reason is you can work together or you can oppose each other at every step of the way. And that doesn't work for anybody. And ultimately, what we all really want to do is put something in place that provides safe housing, but affordable housing. Because if it's implemented incorrectly, it becomes a major expense. And what looks like a $25 fee or a $50 fee, it turns into several $100s of manpower time that you add on to that. Ultimately, who pays for that? The resident, if it's not done correctly. And so that's why the city of Springfield has been very slow to roll this out, because they realize they have to have the manpower, they have to have things in place to be able to do it efficiently to where it doesn't become a burden on an owner, a resident, and everyone else involved. And then if you don't have the manpower to implement it, it's hard to really enforce it. NICSA, it's been a moving target, and it's better now, but in the beginning it was very difficult for everybody involved, which ultimately hurt the residents. And that's what we don't want to see happen here. We have a lot of properties in Ozark. We represent a lot of properties in Ozark. So we would just love to be able to help implement something. And I just like to ask that hopefully you will slow this down a little bit, because I'm just afraid if you implement something as fast as it looks like it could be implemented by the end of the year, I don't know that you're going to have this infrastructure in place to do this. That's really all that we're here to say tonight, is just to let you know that we are here, we're local, we'd love to be a part of the solution any way that we can. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Alderman Metcalf was first.
Are you available to meet this week by chance?
Absolutely.
Okay, I will get a hold of you and set up a meeting. I'd love to visit with you about this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Alderman Snyder.
Yes, sir. You represent apartment facilities in Springfield as well. Is that correct?
Yes.
Can you give me the names of the 3 of those?
I mainly work with single-family housing and duplexes, fourplexes, but we work with companies like At Home Solutions, who manages a lot of apartments. We work with Brent Brown, who's the current president of our association. He owns a lot of apartment communities around, bunch of them around the campus. Brian Properties is one of our members who owns a lot of properties around. So it's a lot of, I say it's a lot of the major players that have properties as far as larger apartment communities in Springfield.
Sure. Are you affiliated with anything on Norton Road near Fairview Studios?
I'm not, but I'm very aware of, my office is on Kearney, so I'm very aware of Norton Road.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Alderman Galloway?
My card with my email, if you can approach, you can reach me there.
There's some of mine, if anybody would like them.
I'm not available this week, but I am next.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Anyone else, Alderman? Yes, sir.
I've actually already met with them. I think I've got a good understanding of where they're coming from, just for whatever.
Okay. Anyone else for our guests? Okay. Thank you for being here tonight,
Thank you very much.
Gary. Appreciate it very much. Okay. We'll now move to our first reading of our bills, and we'll begin with bill number 3613.
Your Honor, I move that we place Bill number 3613 on its first reading by title only.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. The motion is we place bill number 3613 on first reading by title only. The motion was made by Alderman Galloway. It was seconded by Alderman Aiken. All in favor of voting on this motion to discuss bill number 3613, do so by show of hands. And that does carry.
An ordinance of the City of Ozark, Missouri, amending the budget for fiscal year 2024.
Okay. I know our financial director, Mary Edna, is coming to speak for this.
We did send you in the packet all the budget amendments proposed for the 2024 budget. This is mainly a housekeeping issue for the most part, where we clean it up in time for the audit. So I'll be happy to try and answer any questions.
Any questions from the alderman? I don't want to rush. Yes, ma'am.
I had a real quick question. Could you explain what the federal forfeiture funds are?
What they are? Well, they are money, we participate in the Federal Department of Justice program that's called the Federal Forfeiture Program. As I understand it, it's managed entirely by the police department. We have an officer who does some work for them, and in return, we get a portion of any proceeds that they recover, I think mainly from drug-related arrests, but I'm not 100% sure of that. Justin might could answer better than I. But we don't really budget those funds because in the last few years ago, we got quite a bit of money from them. In the last few years, it's kind of been hit or miss, so we don't really budget it until the end of the year when we kind of see how much they have, and they monitor that very closely. So it's really just trying to get it in line with what we have received this year. The police department completely manages all the expense for it.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anyone else? I don't want to rush y'all, but okay. I am not seeing you, so thank you very much.
All right.
Okay. Since this is first reading, is there anyone here from the audience who wishes, I'm going to open it up to the public, to speak for bill number 3613? Okay. I am not seeing any movement from the audience. Is anyone here who wishes to speak against bill 3613? Okay. Not seeing any, I'm going to close this to the public discussion at this time. And last time, board, any final questions? Okay, I am not seeing, therefore, bill number 3613 be held over to a future meeting. Okay. Let's move on now to bill number 3614.
Your Honor, I move we place bill number 3614 by title only.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay. The motion is we place bill number 3614 by first reading by title only, and that's made by Alderman Galloway. It's same Alderman Snyder. All in favor on the motion to discuss bill number 3614, do so by show of hands. And that does carry.
An ordinance of the City of Ozark, Missouri, adopting a budget for the 2025 fiscal year.
Okay. Okay. At this time, do we have, yes, sir.
Yes, sir, Your Honor. I'm pleased to submit the fiscal year 2025 budget for your consideration. Happy to report, this is my first one to present to you in this capacity. Hopefully you find it to your satisfaction. The budget estimates revenues and expenditures for 9 funds. 3 funds, which make up the general fund, the water fund, and the OC, actually make up 91% of the expenditures that we have. The budget is estimated at $46.7 million and support expenses for 122 full-time employees and 136 part-time employees. The budget is balanced, which is a legal requirement. This means we're not deficit spending. Projected cash balances and reserves are healthy. All programs and services are maintained, with several services being expanded or enhanced. We've discussed this in public safety and deferred maintenance needs. Also, the Chamber of Commerce contract, which you will be taking up this evening, will see a recommended increase to their budget. The submitted budget is consistent with the budget presentations that you received in meetings with myself and our finance director, and is aligned with initiatives outlined in the board's strategic plan. And I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the Ozark team, all the department heads, for their hard work in preparing this budget that you have before you tonight. Included also in the packet was a budget message from myself. Yeah, I took a $46 million budget and condensed it down to 6 pages, and I hope you found it to be enjoyable reading. And with that, I'm happy to respond to any questions that you might have. And if you don't have any questions, or if you do have questions and we need to get additional information to you, we will do that. But thank you for letting me present this budget to you.
Okay. I know he was able, our minister met with us and explained it to us, but you may have additional questions this time. No. Again, I don't want to rush y'all, but I'm not seeing any movement. Okay. At this time, this is the first reading. I'm going to, and they've opened up to the public. Is anyone here who wishes to speak for bill number 3614 from the audience? Okay. I'm not seeing movement. So at this time, anyone here wish to speak against bill 3614? I'm not seeing movement, so I'm going to close it this time to the public discussion. Last time to the board. Any final comments? Okay, I am not seeing any, so therefore bill number 3614 will be held at a future meeting. We're now going to move now to bill number 3615.
Your Honor, I move that we place bill number 3615 on its first reading by title only.
Okay, and is there a second?
Second.
The motion is to place bill number 3615 on its first reading by title only. That motion was made by Alderman Galloway and second by Alderman Snyder. All in favor of voting on the motion to discuss bill 3615, do so by show of hands. And that does carry.
An ordinance of the City of Ozark, Missouri, authorizing the city to enter into and execute a contract with the Ozark Chamber of Commerce for professional services.
Okay, and I think we go back to our city administrator.
Your Honor, I'd like to present for your consideration tonight the annual contract with the Ozark Chamber of Commerce. The contract is included in the proposed budget that I just referenced. There is a recommended increase in the annual funding amount of, currently it's $25,000 annually, and I've recommended that we increase it to $35,000. And that is included in the proposed budget that you've received. This contract would include 6 deliverables, State of the Community event, which will be held actually next week, I believe on Tuesday, at the Stained Glass Theater. It also includes a deliverable of the annual awards banquet, the Business Expo, the Christmas Parade, which was recently held, Good Afternoon Ozark Lunch, which is held every month, and First Friday Coffees. I believe all of these events are held within the city of Ozarks. And these deliverables would remain in place for 2025. That's all I have to report on this particular item. We would appreciate your consideration.
Okay. Any questions? Yes, sir.
Mr. City Manager, how vital is the chamber to Ozark?
Extremely vital.
Second part of that, how instrumental is it?
They are very instrumental in what they do. And I believe at our last board meeting, you had a presentation from their director, Chris Russell, who provided a very robust presentation and update. The Chamber of Commerce, I wasn't here through what's been described to me as a very dark period for this current Chamber of Commerce, but I'm told that today it is night and day difference, and that what you have today in this organization is very robust in terms of their economic development in the community for not only attracting new businesses, but helping the mom and pop businesses grow and be very active and productive in this community. We would be unfortunate and it would be sad to not have a Chamber of Commerce in this community.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions from the board? Okay, I am not seeing any. So again, this is the first reading. Is anyone here who would speak for Bill number 3615?
Well, yeah, I got to come up and speak. Chris Russell, Ozark Chamber of Commerce. Thank you so much for the consideration of this, and thank you all for just being an amazing community. And it has been a fun year. And I just wanted to take a moment here to kind of give you an update. I haven't even shared this with our board yet. We had our committee meeting, our recap meeting from the parade today, but the contract, yes, it is technically a contract, but I call it a partnership. It's a truly partnership that we have with the city of Ozark. I mean, even all the hard work that our Ozark Police Department did just to pull off the safety and the security of blocking the roads for the parade this last week. And all of us coming together with Jeremy and his team, getting the roadblocks out and getting the cones out, and just all the work that it comes together. And that's just one of many events. You know, our contract or partnership has several of the different things that's stated that we do. And as we talked about, there's so much more that we're trying to engage and grow this chamber to be in 2025. And this partnership is going to be vital to that. But I wanted to share something fun with you. So I was told, now we had amazing weather at the parade. Would you not agree? The weather was just absolutely like perfect for parade, especially for Christmas. But I want to give you a little rundown of some of the numbers. We had 78 total individual participants in this parade. It lasted about 120 minutes. We had 30 businesses. We had 28 clubs or groups or local nonprofit, you know, those kind of, and then we had 15 nonprofits and 8 religious different individuals show up. And it was just a huge success. The parade lasted a little over an hour and 20 minutes. Marie and I, we had some streaming challenges, but we got it off and we did a live broadcast, and we're going to grow that for in the coming years. The community feedback was absolutely phenomenal. I've heard nothing but great things from social media to people reaching out to various members of chamber board members and chamber members saying how much they enjoyed it. The responses were overwhelming. So it's this partnership, this contract allows us to do this and so much more in 2025. And since I have the floor just for a second, legally, I do have to present Mr. Snyder here. His group, the Honor Flight of the Ozarks, one of our nonprofits, won first place. So there you go, sir. thought I'd take this moment to thank you for what you do for the Honor Flight of the Ozarks, and they had a really neat float. If you want to go back, you did miss the parade, you can go to the Ozark Chamber Facebook page and watch it in whole. It's actually up on our YouTube channel as well now. So, but we really appreciate you, and unless you have any other questions, I'll be back here next month to give another update on what's happening, and we're looking forward to State of the Community coming up next week. All right, thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else here who would speak for bill number 3615? Okay. Anyone here who wishes to speak against bill 3615? This is now your time. Okay. I am not seeing movement, so I'm now closing this to public discussion. Last time from the board. Any final comments from any of the board members? Okay, not seeing any. Bill number 3615 will now be held at a future meeting. We're now going to move attention to bill number 3616.
I make a motion that we place bill number 3616 on its first reading by title only.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, the motion is that we place bill number 3616 on its first reading by title only. The motion was made by Alderman Campbell, second by Alderman Snyder. All in favor of voting on the motion to discuss bill number 3616 would do so by show of hands. And that does carry.
An ordinance of the City of Ozark, Missouri, authorizing the city to enter into an intergovernmental agreement with Christian County regarding the county government plaza development. I'd be happy to explain the background of this bill.
Yes, ma'am.
The city and the county worked on the preliminary plat that was approved by the city for the county government plaza in 2022. And in furtherance of that development, the city and the county want to establish the rights and the privileges of each party. With that development, it was appropriate to enter into a contract with the county to delineate who has responsibility for certain inspections and different elements of the development. Those are all outlined in the contract, but I've also broken them out in the explanation sheet that is submitted with the bill. So if you have any questions about any of those requirements, I'd be happy to go over them in more detail.
Okay. Any questions for our city attorney regarding bill 3616? Okay, I'm not seeing any. Well, this time to public discussion. Is anyone here who wishes to speak for bill 3616 from the audience?
Good evening. Bradley Jackson, 201 East Church Street, representing the Christian County Commission. I want to thank you for giving us the opportunity to come in front of you tonight to discuss this bill and this intergovernmental agreement. It has already been passed by the County Commission. We're hoping that you guys will see the importance of this cooperative agreement and pass it so that we can continue moving forward as we're working the property out there. For those of you that don't know, the property was originally built with the intention that we would not build any buildings on the property until some of the outlots were sold, because we were going to try to be debt neutral on this project. And we do have an interested party in one of the commercial lots. We need to go ahead and get them they're under contract, but we need to get that property closed for them. And that will free up some funds for us to continue moving forward with our project. At the same time, we know all these parts need to be put in place. So having the ability to continue to work on our side, developing the property, developing the lots, getting these contracts underway, and still follow through. So with the platting process. So we appreciate your consideration, and we look forward to hopefully you guys passing this through and letting us continue to work forward so that we can represent the Christian County residents on this new property. We are not looking to be moving all of our operations out there. It's kind of an as-need basis. As money, becomes freed up. Now, some of our money that we're using out there are ARPA funds. They've been obligated. They'll be spent by the end of next year in accordance with law. But as far as going out and bonding projects to build buildings out there, we're not doing that. We're going to use funds that we have available. So that's why we're selling these outlots. And we would like to put the potential developer their mind at ease that everything's moving forward and they can go ahead and get their financing in place, and we can get that lot closed off and in their name so that they can move forward and continue to, build infrastructure in our community, which is more property tax, eventually more sales tax, which is what I didn't come up a minute ago, Mr. Snyder, when you talked about the importance of the Chamber of Commerce, but they're extremely important. As you know, as you're going through the budget cycle, the vast majority of your revenues come from sales tax revenue, not property tax revenue. And we're no different over at the county, where we're about 1% of our budget comes from property tax and the rest comes from sales tax. Having good partnerships in our community that are driving businesses, helping them, giving them resources so that they can be successful and generate revenue so that we can implement these projects on their behalf, give them good parks, give them good police, give them good streets. It's all important. And it all comes down to being great partners and having a great Chamber of Commerce or any kind of economic development organization, in our community. And I think that you guys should really consider making that change to their contracts so that they can have better resources to continue to give resources so that we business owners, and I am one of those, in the community can generate revenue so that you guys can carry on and take care of our citizens. So anyway, 2 topics, 1 opportunity. I appreciate your time. If you had any questions, I'd take them.
Okay. Alderman Galloway.
Just a comment. That's been a theme, Commissioner Jackson, of your political life, is to develop partnerships. And it's something that this board has carried forward even after you left the city. When we talk about partners, it seems kind of, to somebody just casually listening, they don't really know what that means. But partners, what we've done with the county, what we've done with the chamber, what we've done with the school district, is we've built things for this community. We have saved taxpayers thousands of dollars. We have developed in the community a sense of cooperation. And sometimes that comes and goes, but we really appreciate you, and I appreciate the members of the board and the mayor here in continuing partnership mindset that you know so well.
Well, thank you. I think that's very important, having partnerships and collaborative efforts, because we all serve the same group of people. And I like to tell people, I represent half of the county as the associate for the Eastern District. I have 45,000 bosses, and they're more than willing to tell me how they feel, so I have to represent them well, and having great partnerships because we're all working for them. So instead of working against each other, working with each other to accomplish these tasks is a very important thing. So I appreciate you guys being here and being a partner and a good steward to our citizens, as well as all the other districts that you were talking about. I know the fire department is in the back of the room, and they've got a topic coming up tonight. They're great partners to work with. There's no adversarial relationships at this time in our county with the government agencies, and I think that's a great thing.
Thank you, sir.
No further questions. I'll take my seat.
Thank you. Okay. Anyone here who will speak for Bill number 3616? Okay. Anyone here who will speak against Bill number 3616? This is your time. I am not seeing movement, so I'm going to close this time public discussion. Any final board responses? Not seeing any. Bill number 3616 will be held over for a future meeting. We now put our attention to bill number 3617. Yes.
Motion to place bill number 3617 on its first reading by title only.
Okay. Do we have a second? Okay. The motion is to place bill number 3617 on its first reading by title only. The motion was made by Alderman Aiken, it was seconded by Alderman Hutcherson. All in favor in voting on the motion to discuss bill 3617, do so by your show of hands. And that does carry.
An ordinance of the City of Ozark, Missouri, establishing sewer connection fees.
Okay. And now we'll recognize our Public Works Director, Jeremy Parson.
Yes, thank you. Good evening. Kind of like what Mary Edna said, tonight's a night of housekeeping. This is an annual bill that comes before you. I do have a presentation, but I think you've seen it multiple times. Basically, what we're asking you to do tonight is to follow the guidance outlined by our bond council in 2007 when Elk Valley Treatment Plant was built. They projected how we were going to service that debt. They asked that we consider those connection fees, and please keep in mind the connection fees are a new connection to the system. So it doesn't have anything to do with any existing If they choose to connect to the system, they are obligated to pay a fee. Again, our bond council made the recommendation that we look at annually a 3.5% increase. It's a relatively modest increase, but we are making the recommendation to you tonight that we follow our bond council's advice, make that increase, and proceed with other housekeeping options or other housekeeping obligations, I should say. So with that, any questions regarding connection fees?
Okay, any questions for Director Parson? Okay, I'm not seeing, sir.
Okay.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Okay. I'm not seeing questions. Therefore, again, first reading, I'm going to open this up to the public. Anyone here who speak for bill number 3617 from the public? Okay. Okay, I'm not seeing any movement. Anyone here who would speak against bill 3617? This is your time. Okay. Okay, I'm not seeing. I'm going to close this now to the public discussion. Board, any final comments? Okay, bill number 3617 will be held at a future meeting. Now let's turn to bill number 3618.
Your Honor, I move that we place bill number 3618 on its first reading by title only.
Okay, do we have a second? Okay. The motion is we place bill number 3618 by title only in its first reading. The motion was made by Alderman Galloway. It was seconded by Alderman Aiken. All in favor of voting on the motion to discuss bill number 3618 will do so by show of hands. And that does carry.
An amended ordinance of the City of Ozark, Missouri, approving the 2025 fee study establishing certain city fees. I'd be happy to explain this bill.
Yes, please.
After the first reading of the tabled bill, the city staff went back, taking the comments of the board, and have revised the proposed fee study in several ways. The fee study is now presented in this amended bill to have the 6 fees that were associated with the 3 ordinances that have not yet been approved by the board removed from the fee study. So those were related to the rental registration ordinance, the contractor's license ordinance, and the administrative hearing ordinance. Those fees are not in this amended bill as proposed tonight. Additionally, there was some feedback from the board related to the wording to better clarify and give transparency related to what the fee encompassed. And those departments have addressed that in their fee study. I believe it is addressed in the parks fee study and the planning and development, which is in conjunction with the public works fee study. If this amended fee study is acceptable, staff would recommend that this move forward and the tabled bill just stay on the table and die, which it's listed second on the agenda after this. With that, I'll open it up to any questions.
Alderman Galloway.
And so probably the best way to handle 3612 is that when I place that on first reading is nobody to second me. So then that just doesn't come up.
That's correct.
Okay. As for bill 3618, any questions for our city attorney regarding the fee study? Yes, Alderman Campbell.
Could you tell me the ones, I'm looking at the bill from 2 weeks ago, and the one that I have here tonight. Could you tell me again which ones were changed?
There were
Or deleted or whatever you said?
There were 6 fees that were deleted.
Okay.
And
Just to be clear, it's those 6 fees I'm interested, the wording on the others that you mentioned, the planning and zoning or planning and development. I see the changes in those. So it's just within those 6.
Okay.
Okay.
There are 6 fees that were removed. They were related to the rental registration, permitting, the contractor's license, and the administrative hearing. And if you're looking for them specifically in the line, I would have to refer to the assistant city administrator because he removed those. It is his fee study that those were in.
Okay. I'd like to, Mr. Smith, to address that.
Yeah, my understanding, I believe you have the spreadsheet from the original fee study.
Yes.
Okay, so at the top of that fee study, kind of under the miscellaneous, the first one highlighted in green, administrative hearing.
Yes,
The second one highlighted in green, contractor license.
yes.
And then if you skip down to the last four that's highlighted, residential rental property permit, and then the 3 associated inspections following that based on the type of residential property.
Okay. So the first 2 of the green ones and the last 4, they look to me like they're still on here.
I'd have to defer within the packet because the one that I have doesn't have those in there.
I may not have the correct one then. Oh. Okay. Well, okay. The one I've got here, that I received with this packet is not the same one.
You on page 5 of 7?
Yes.
That is the one that's with Bill.
3612.
618. Yeah.
This one is.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. I've got the corrected one here. Okay.
Page 3. Yes, absolutely. 6.
Okay.
And there's
Okay.
7 if you want to keep
All right.
all
All right.
pages. Okay.
Thank you. That answers it.
Any other questions regarding bill number 3618 from the board? I want to make sure, okay, I want to make sure you had your questions answered, sir. I'm not seeing any, so this time, it is our first reading. I'm going to open up to the public discussion and bill number 3618. Anyone here in favor of this bill wish to speak for it? Okay, I'm seeing no movement. Anyone here who wishes to speak against bill 3618, this is your time.
(1324) East Warren Avenue, Jeannie McFall. On the oil and grease inspection, do we know how many inspections are done a year by the city of Ozark? How many grease traps we have?
Yes, Police Director Parson, please come to.
Speaking to the mic, do you want to share the mic? We have approximately 156 grease traps. So that includes restaurants, that includes daycares, that includes nursing homes, churches. And we average per grease trap monitoring and then going in and keeping a manifest. We actually keep a manifest on each one of those to log the amount of grease that they're producing and when they should be basically serviced. So we average about 4 to 5 hours on each grease trap. So that's how you come up with all these fees with driving to and from, the man hours, the administrative fees, all of these things. And just to be clear, we did do a little more research regarding some areas further outside of this area, and we are right in line with those types of administrative fees. So I feel comfortable with it.
The other question I had was, at what point will they be billed at the time of inspection? And would it be fair that some will be inspected more than once a year?
So if we approve this tonight, the way I would like to recommend it, we would work with utility billing and also with Chandra Hodges with our business registration to identify all the businesses that do have a grease trap. What I see in a lot of municipalities is those businesses that have a grease trap, they spread that out over a monthly fee. And that way you're not hitting them at the beginning of the year. I think you and I talked about that. You're not hitting them at the beginning of the year when property taxes are due and all those other things. So that'll be our recommendation.
I just wanted to make sure that you guys were clear. on how that was going to be handled. And then the other question was the floodplain permit fee. So development is allowed in floodplain areas in Ozark?
Yes, sir.
Yes, the development is allowed in a floodplain, but when you are in a floodplain, there's additional requirements, whether in the floodplain or floodway. Yes, development is allowed in the floodplain.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Okay, anyone's here who wishes to speak against bill number 3618? Okay, I'm not seeing movement. I'm going to close it to public discussion. Last time from the board. Any final board responses regarding this bill? Not seeing any. I'm going to now say bill 3618 be held to a future meeting. Now we'll turn our attention to bill number 3612.
Your Honor, as to bill number 3612, without enthusiasm and lacking candor and incomplete equivocation, I move that we read it by title only.
Is there a second? Okay. I'm sorry, Snyder's over there. Okay. Okay, due to lack of second, this bill would die. Okay. Now, moving on to our second readings, which therefore are not open to public discussion since these are second reading. So we'll now put our attention to bill number 3611.
Your Honor, I move that we place bill number 3611 on its second reading by title only.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay. Okay. The motion is replace bill number 3611 on its second reading by title only, and that was motion made by Alderman Metcalf. It was second by Alderman Aiken. All in favor of voting on the motion to discuss bill number 3611, do so by show of hands. And that does carry.
An ordinance of the City of Ozark, Missouri, amending the zoning code and official map by changing the zoning classification of certain real property located at 909, 911 North 9th Street.
Good. Any comments from our Assistant City Administrator?
I have no new information to add, but be happy to answer any questions.
Any comments from the board? Yes, sir, Alderman Snyder.
No, I just want to clarify that this will be beneficial to Chief Matheny and the firefighters. Is that correct? Okay. I just want to make sure people are aware of that this is something that I firmly believe in, that, public safety is an issue, and for them to get a new house, I think is good for us. If you could share it with the police department, I'd greatly appreciate that.
Okay. Any other comments or questions from the board? Okay, I am not seeing any, so therefore,
Your Honor, I make a motion that we adopt bill number 3611 as ordinance number 24-091.
is there a second? Okay, the motion is that we adopt bill 3611 to become ordinance 24-091. The motion was made by Alderman Metcalf, it was seconded by Alderman Hutchinson. Roll call, please.
Alderman Galloway,
Aye.
Alderman Aiken,
Aye.
Alderman Snyder,
Aye.
Alderman Metcalf,
Aye.
Alderman Campbell,
Aye.
Alderman Hutchinson. Aye. We have 6 aye votes, motion carries.
Thank you very much. Okay, now we'll move on to report of officers. City Administrator Eric Johnson, sir.
Yes, Your Honor, I've spoken enough already tonight, so I'll be very brief. Again, just a reminder of the state of the community next Tuesday at the Stained Glass Theater. If you need additional information about that, please, you can contact me, Maria, or Chandra tomorrow or whenever it's convenient for you. Thank you, and that's all I have.
Okay, any comments from the board? Members? Okay, I am not seeing any. Okay, at this time, we're going to be moving to a closed session regarding. So I need a motion to go in closed session.
I make a motion to go to closed session, but your microphone is not working, Mayor.
Sarah, went off.
No, it went off. It just cut out.
Try again. No, it's
Just
dead.
cut out.
Okay, anyway, the motion is made, Snyder, have a second?
Second.
Okay. So the motion is we go to closed session. Motion made by Alderman Snyder, second Alderman Aiken. Roll call, please.
Alderman Aiken.
Aye.
Alderman Campbell.
Aye.
Alderman Galloway.
Aye.
Alderman Hutchinson.
Aye.
Alderman Metcalf.
Aye.
Alderman Snyder.
Aye.
We have 6 aye votes, motion carries.
It's just like, I know you turn it on, it just does that.
Okay, is there a motion that we adjourn this meeting? Is there a motion?
Motion to adjourn.
Second? So the motion made by Alderman Snyder for adjournment, second by Alderman Callaway. Sorry, Alderman Campbell. Okay, all in favor, just a show of hands. Okay, we stand adjourned.